take it a step further. Then there's 9 months off between the season, and you got to think about how it ended. And then take it a step further is between episodes, you might go on a talk show or an Entertainment Weekly and talk about what's coming up. But now you sit and you binge watch less episodes, 8, 10, whatever, in a weekend, and you know it was good, but unless it's like a superstar from the past, you don't really remember the people on it. You don't have that relationship to them. And I think that has changed the business dramatically in the way people are built up. There is no build up anymore.
Man, that you just blew my mind.
There's nothing that holds anymore, nothing that sticks. Right. I could probably go do a porn. I could do a porno and probably then get hired by Scorsese. It won't even fucking matter.
He's edgy. He's edgy.
You know? Yeah, exactly.
For me, what I'm trying to do with my sons is I want to introduce them to the world. But I was caught for a moment especially when the first one was born. We were living in New York, and I got caught in that moment where I was like, I want my kids to grow up like me. And then I went, no, I don't. I don't want my kids to grow up like me. That's terrible. That's not the point of this. The point is for them to grow up different, not better, different, experience different things so I can give them what I know, and then they could build upon that in a different environment so we can combine life lessons.
But how much does your upbringing influence the way that you parent your boys?
I fight against it every minute.
You do?
Every minute. Yeah. I fight it.
Just because you're upbeat? Okay.
I didn't have a father.
Meaning you didn't know your dad?
No, he left. He left when I was young, and he just wasn't supposed to be a dad. He wasn't a bad guy. He just wasn't supposed to be a dad. There are a lot of people that get married and have kids who aren't supposed to. He just got in a lot of trouble with the law and all this stuff that happened to him, and then he just was gone. And then I found out he died on the internet in 2009 when I was doing Sons. Yeah, because we're so incredibly influenced by the things that happen to us when we're young, even subconsciously, the stuff we don't know. And that's the stuff that I think about all the time. Bad or good, by the way. Bad or good.
Well, it's interesting you say that because it's about breaking patterns too. I've talked about it on this podcast a bunch, but my dad, who I have a bit of a relationship now, because of a certain circumstance, but he disappeared for a while, but at the same time, he didn't have much of a shot given the fact that his dad left him when my dad was 5 years old in the middle of the night. I wanted to break that pattern. Like, I made a decision in my 20s, well before I had kids, that I just didn't want to be that kind of a father, and now I almost overcompensate. And now I've almost attached my sense of well-being to my children. And now I fucking go crazy when I might not be there for something, and I have this overwhelming feeling of dread that I'm abandoning them, even though it's completely irrational because I am so present,
Because it's about consistency, and I look at that as the same with being a dad. I'm not perfect by no means. Sometimes I try to maybe overcompensate of like, if I see them doing something, I'm like, man, they're just like, my 3-year-old looks at me sometimes and I think that he's saying like, hey dad, I'm just 3. Like, I'm 3. Like take it easy. Like, why are you talking to me like we're 37 years old? Like,
right.
Because I'll be like, I don't understand why you did that. Tell me explain that to me. Why would you? You walked in there and then you grabbed that and I told you not to, and then you put it back and then you came out and lied to me about it. Why would you do that? And like, on the third word, he lost me. He's like,
yeah. No, it's so funny you say that. I've always done that, but I've stayed consistent with that speak because I'm like, look, I'm just going to talk to them as an adult, almost with that adult speak, and eventually they'll catch up. Let me ask you a question, because you said you work your ass off, which you do, and you're not there a lot, because you're doing what you love to do, and you're putting food on the table and all that. I mean, does that take its toll on you at all? Do you have any guilt there? Because, I know as an actor, I do. I mean, I've had to go fucking on antidepressants because I was in Nashville for 2 years, flying back and forth. Just had my third daughter and losing my mind. You know?
Yeah, I'm about to start microdosing soon. A psilocybin.
Man, I feel like you two came out of the same womb.
No, I'm starting next week. Let's see what happens.
No, that's a whole other topic.
That's a whole other topic
that we can
we'll
get into. But
I'm
with you, man. I'm with you.
I'm going to say, Theo, that I need you to come raise my kids, but I'm kind of thinking you might need to come here and raise me. Be
aware of your own feelings. Be aware of everyone around you. And awareness is going to make you a better person. But if you're not aware, you know those people, right? You hold the door for someone, they just keep walking. Like, okay, you're welcome, right? It's just no awareness. There's just no awareness. I hate it.
Yeah.
It's like you're getting off an elevator and someone's getting on. You're like, really, guy? Come on, man.
Right.
Just give me, be aware that someone might come off.
Right.
That I'm coming off, right?
And if you're going to get off that fast and that close to me, wear a condom.
Right? We're inside of me. What is going on here? And
remind me to not have Michelle, my wife, Theo, listen to this podcast. She's going to leave me so fucking fast. She's going to be like, wait, there are men out there that don't fly off the handle and go, God damn it.
I used to. I don't anymore. It's not worth it. It's so silly.
I'm blown away by this whole. I am. I feel like less of a man. I feel like less.
No, Buck, you're the fucking ultimate man.
Cavalry Audio.